Hey, this is Kat from Red Mountain Shaman, and I share shamanic wisdom through dreams, visions, nature, synchronicities, intuition, channeling, art, music, photography, and shamanic journeys. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to anybody who is new. So today I'm going to be talking about my personal things I experienced this week in journeys and in real life. And I'm also going to be sharing a channeled message as well as a card that I picked for the Year of the Snake today. So the first thing I experienced was after we were done with a session, a client and I were guided to do some grid work in the Middle East. And we put up some pillars of light there, and we sent the pink light of the divine feminine for protection to all the women who are struggling there with suppression. And we asked for that light to bring them protection so that they can rise up back into their power. And then a few days after that happened, I noticed on one of the channels that I follow that a woman was one of the first since the Islam regime came into power. She did a concert without the hijab. She had bare shoulders, and she was singing, which is also another thing that they don't allow women to do there. So she was really risking everything. She was arrested, and she does have a court date coming up. So if we could all send that woman lots of love and protection for her safe release, I think that would help a lot, because I think she is one of the brave pioneers who is standing up to the regime there that is greatly suppressing women in that area. And then another video that I saw was a lot of footage of women standing up to people trying to force them to wear the hijab after they once again put that law back into practice again, the Sharia law, and just seeing a lot of women like boldly and fearlessly standing up to this. And it's a lot of younger women in the new generation. So the next thing I saw was like a woman with a rose on her head, and she looked like a priestess with 2 candles. So I wanted to ask about that in today's channeling. And then I saw one night I woke up and I had this vision, and it looked like either cells or molecules. It just felt like they were moving around and changing, and it felt like it was in the human body. So I wanted to ask about that today. Then in somebody's session, I saw the sign of the sickle and the hammer on a flag, but then it never really came through in that person's session personally, so I think that was a collective message. So I wanted to ask about that. I also heard the words uprising, and I also heard the words surveillance state. Then I saw a zebra, and the zebra was running, and then the stripes started to come off the zebra. So I'm interpreting that as a possible, the black and white stripes I feel represent duality. So I feel that might be a representative of the lessening of duality as we move forward. And then the next thing that happened was today we saw the movie Nosferatu. It was like a remake, and it was so well done. It was really amazing. And I usually never watch horror movies, but I made an exception for this one just because it was so artistically done. And one thing that really stood out in this movie was that the main woman in the movie, she was kind of like almost like the target of Nosferatu, but then some of the people believed that she was like the only one that could kind of help lift the curse of Nosferatu. And one of the lines was that she was a priestess of Isis in a past life, but in this incarnation she was going to go through some hardships. And that it just reminded me of that Many of us were in Egypt, and we did have incarnations within the mystery schools, and when we had great power and wisdom. And then we've gone through cycles of time where we've fallen and risen and come back up. And that we are now coming to an end of an old cycle and rising back up again, back into our power. So maybe something about that would come through today. And I don't recommend watching any kind of horror movies unless you do protection. And I did do a lot of protection and intentions before I went and watched that movie, because there can be some dark energies that come through and that stuff. That's why they make so many horror movies. And also a lot of inversion of truth in a lot of these movies. But this one, I felt like there was a lot of truth. And my husband was doing some research on Nosferatu, and Nosferatu and Dracula are the origin of these stories come from Vlad the Impaler, who was one of these beings that really suppressed people's divine sovereignty and caused a lot of trauma and tragedy in the world. So he was during one of these dark cycles. So again, I believe that this coming year, as I have said in the title, it's the year of the snake. So we are shedding our old skin so that we can move into a new skin. And shedding the old skin can sometimes be very uncomfortable, as we're seeing old paradigms and old ways of being coming to an end. And that may be scary for some people who don't understand what's going on. So just try to be the light for those who are in fear. And another thing that I saw this week was a vision of people carrying torches, like being the torchbearer. So look up the meaning of torchbearer and feel into if you are one of the torchbearers and bearing your light to help humanity shift. So without further ado, today the being that came through when I tapped in was Isis. And this is what I heard her say as I typed out her message. Greetings, beings of the light. There are many changes happening upon your earth and within the higher realms at this time. As you have been told, this is a multi-dimensional event. Some will be dismayed as to what will be revealed in the coming year, as Earth and humanity are indeed set to shed their old skins. This will be seen as old power structures and corruption continue to be dismantled. The divine feminine is indeed being restored, as the perpetrators of her suppression continue to lose their control over her. The Divine Mother, or Mother God, is stepping forward in the hearts of those who are awakening to her presence, peace, and power. The atrocities against the feminine are being revealed and will no longer be tolerated. The priestesses and shield maidens are returning as their memories and ancient abilities reintegrate into their incarnated form. The shackles are no longer able to hold them down as the old guards are falling. They are standing up to their abusers, and those who continue to challenge them will be met with swift retribution. Those who are being held against their will or experiencing mistreatment will rise in this life or another life, as the feminine energy must be brought back into balance with respect and harmony within all. It is the same with those who are being suppressed in controlling paradigms and countries. They will begin to rise up and challenge the sickle and hammer used against them. The goals of the Big Brother state will continue to be seen, but not adhered to by those who decree liberty and freedom. The chains upon the innocent will also be seen and released. The agencies meant to protect you will also be seen and dismantled, for it is not protection that they truly offer, but more control as puppets of those who seek global governance. The tide is turning, dear friends. There will indeed be an inauguration, despite attempts to thwart new leadership. And these attempts to thwart the will of the people will reveal their true colors, and masks will fall. All will be seen as the old energy is shed. This is a year of death and rebirth. such as the serpent represents. Even your body will be shedding old beliefs, old energy, and old ways of doing things as you come into new ways of being. Stargates and grids are being cleared and activated by those who have volunteered to do so on both sides of the veil. And this veil I speak of is thinning as we speak, so that you will be able to interact and telepathically communicate with your star family increasingly as time moves on. And time itself is speeding up. There will be an accelerated timeline of events this year, as all is being purged or shed that is no longer a match to the rising frequencies and solar codes flooding the earth. Collective floods of emotions will be purged as the old hidden darkness is revealed and shed. Tears for the innocent will be shed. The inverted serpents will writhe in discomfort and come against their own. Whistleblowers will come forward. The year of the snake will shed all false skins of deception and manipulation. Truth and justice shall prevail as a great rebirth is happening simultaneously. Ride the waves of energy with grace as you follow your internal guidance through grounding, setting intentions, meditation, nature, water, unprocessed food, daily mantras, brisk walks, stretching, yoga, qigong, sound therapy with bowls and bells, smudging, uplifting music, laughter, friendship, and sending out love to Mother Earth and all who reside here. What you cultivate and experience within will eventually be seen without. You call yourself to your experience and environment with your intentions, thoughts, and vibrations. The order of the rose is beckoning you to step forward in love, for love is the true nature of the universe, as the duality of earth is gradually lessening and unity is rising. You are the phoenix rising up out of the ashes. You are the serpent shedding its old skin as you continue moving through initiations of the soul, and as you continue rising in your true divine sovereignty. The age of control and false authority over the soul is coming to an end. Your body is literally changing its molecular structure. It is undergoing a great transformation from carbon to crystalline, and this means that your DNA is also activating, and your true abilities will be blossoming. For you are the rose, dear ones, moving ever forward into divine perfection through your very human experience. You have asked for this, or you would not be here at this time. All of heaven is cheering you on as you move through this fantastic transformation back into divine love and a great rebirthing into a new golden age. You all carry the torch and bring your light in order to help facilitate this great rebirthing as you grow into your new skin and begin to experience new realities. And so it is. I am Isis, she who initiates the willing and ready, she who guides with love and wisdom. I have returned for a new cycle of time, and I will continue to rise within the consciousness of those who are seekers of divine truth, beauty, and mystery. Amen and amen. Thank you, Isis. So she asked me to pull 2 cards today. One was from the Animal Wisdom deck, and it's called, the card is the Baboon. And it says, in love and declarations of passion, heartfelt communication is the key. And I feel like this card has to do with being in a vibration of love, and when the more love that we carry rather than fear within our being, the easier it's going to be to have communication with spirit, communication with our higher self, and communication with others. The next card is quite a long one, and this is from the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I just love her decks. So this card is called Sacred Scar, and it's number 11. Let's see. Your inner and outer scars are marks for your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival, of your willingness to be alive. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Trauma shall be transformed through spiritual initiation, and they talked about this in the channeling today. Leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. You are strong and shall flourish on all levels. Some experiences are hard to weather. Even when our intention is to trust, going through a challenging time is likely to give rise to suffering. Consider the mother eagle raising her precious eaglets in the sanctuary of a meticulously padded and fiercely defended nest. They know safety and comfort, until one day the mother who provided unceasing nurturance abruptly pushes them out of the nest and into the air. She knows this is how they will learn that they can fly. For the eaglet, there is not such knowledge yet, disoriented and disturbed, but eventually innate instinct overtakes confusion, and those brave little eaglets begin to flap their fledgling wings during the plummet from the nest. They have learned the purpose of tough lesson and grown. The trauma of disruption became their initiation into power. And this year, I do think we are going to see a lot of disruption in 2025, and it's going to be a catalyst for us stepping into our sovereignty and power. You don't have to enjoy the process of growth, but you can always trust that it has your best interest at heart. However, do not confuse negative, especially traumatic experiences as something Spirit has inflicted on you. Spirit would love your growth to happen in the most joyful and peaceful ways possible. As your relationship to Spirit heals and strengthens, this can be the way you grow more often than not. However, Spirit also knows that sometimes we are to move through intense experiences before we can gain access to the light. Those experiences can teach us things only those who have truly suffered and brought their suffering to consciousness and healing can know. The lessons learned include compassion, wisdom, strength, and fearlessness, faith in Spirit and in humanity, and the recognition of the challenges of awakening whilst having trust in the ultimate power of the light. Such a soul becomes one truly badass and divine human being, a powerful healer, and a light bearer in the world, which goes back to the torchbearer that I was talking about. Look up the word torchbearer and see what it means. It's really beautiful. The oracle of the sacred scar lets you know that your greatest struggles are the pathway to your potential. You are not being punished. Those circumstances have not been imposed upon you by Spirit, but Spirit will work with you to free you of negativities and bring you into the light, stimulating the sacred alchemical wisdom within your heart that knows how to distill goodness, grace, and healing from even the most terrible experiences. If you are deep in suffering now, know that Spirit is with you, loving you, and bringing you this oracle. You shall heal. Do not give up. Proceed until you are exactly where you most want to be. You have the inner spirit to ensure even a negative experience will only cause positive growth in your life. So I can attest to the truthfulness of this card. I have had many experiences that at the time seemed so dark and despairing, and some of those experiences have actually led me to the path of helping others and being a healer that I would not have come to had it not been for these excruciating experiences. So remember that when you are, in the fire and you're being refined, that try to see the good and how it is refining your soul and bringing you to the light and wisdom of who you are truly meant to be. If you are needing your own readings, healing, or channeled messages and more, please visit Red Mountain Shaman to learn more. Just go to my contact page and you can get directions on how to book a session with me. Until next Sunday, I'm sending you all love. Take care.